Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Buffet with Nakul. Almost a decade back, a revolution came in India, a beverage which became very popular. The whole nation got crazy about it. Everyone was out tasting it across India. I'm talking about the milkshakes, the thick shakes. I would say I'm very fortunate today to have you here with us.
My
It's
pleasure
been
to
a
be
long
with
time,
you.
I was thinking to call you here,
Yeah.
and thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, yeah. Let's start, Rahul. So, first of all, tell us about yourself. How you ventured into food.
Actually, I've done my MBA from London. So, since my childhood, I was very much passionate towards starting my own brand or getting into business. But I was stuck with business ideas before doing my MBA. So, then I thought if I do MBA, I'll be getting some business knowledge or some business idea so that I can start something on my own. So, before starting doing my MBA, I've approached multiple companies for franchise, but franchises those days were very expensive. I'm talking about before 2012 or something like that. So, and there were very limited options, and it was very expensive. I couldn't take that particular risk. Like, if I take money from my parents, if I invest that particular money, and if it goes something goes wrong, it's completely gone. So I thought, no, I shouldn't take this particular risk. And then I've been to London for doing my MBA. I've done MBA. While doing my MBA, I've seen some similar concept there. So then I thought, why shouldn't I start something of this lines in India? Because India being a hot country, like climatic conditions when compared to London, here it is more hot. So I thought, why shouldn't I start here? So I've done a little bit of R&D by taking my cousin's help there. So I came back, I started, and by God's grace, it took off very well.
So, I'm talking about that era. See, I mean pretty much aware because we were in industry, of course. And that's what I was telling कि यार एक तूफान आ गया था मतलब इंडिया में मतलब एक something where everyone was
Hmm.
talking about this beverage,
Hmm.
thick shake, milkshake.
Hmm.
So when you started, you were really, I mean, you really thought कि यार ये ऐसा एक एक इतना बड़ा volcano आ जाएगा where it will be a kind of a storm. पूरा
Hmm.
इंडिया में people will go crazy about this beverage. ऐसा
Hmm.
लगा था? You thought of this,
Yeah, I
right?
was having a bigger picture for Makers of Milkshakes before starting it as itself. Like, I thought of coming into franchising model because that was the problem which I faced, right?
Hmm.
Because when I thought of starting something on my own or taking up a franchise, that was very expensive those days. The problem which I faced, a lot of youngsters in India are also facing the same headache. So I thought of coming up with a business model, a franchising model, which is budget friendly and risk wise also, which has a very minimal risk, so that a lot of people can invest, and it would be a easy thing for them to get get into profitability. So that is what keeping all these points in my mind, and we have designed a proper business model. So as you know, that business model plays a major role in any
Yeah, yeah.
business, not only food and beverage industry. In any industry, business model plays a
Hmm.
major role. So by keeping all these points in my mind, we have designed a business model, so which has a very minimal risk, and investment wise also, when compared to other banks, it should be very minimal. So risk factor is also very minimal. That is how we design. So, and by God's grace, we started our first outlet. Like, when we were approaching people for starting business in Hyderabad, we got a lot of rejections. No one was ready to give place for milkshakes those days. Everyone used to say that we don't want to give our place for a juice shop. Like, I used to convince them, like, because for starting a milkshakes, I need a decent place, right? So, but all those property owners used to reject us, assuming that milkshake is also a part of juice
Kind of a juice
parlor.
brand, yeah.
So we don't want to give, is what they used to say. So though that was really tough to convince
Hmm.
owners, then we started our first branch in Bangalore Highway, which is 60 kilometers away from Hyderabad. So it took off very well, and we started our first branch in Hyderabad. That is like franchisee outlet. So you don't believe where a place where not even a single spot was available for us. Now we have more than 45 stores in Hyderabad.
I think now today when we talk about franchising and everything, I think because now this there has been a trend, especially for QSRs,
Hmm.
in the last one decade. Lot of QSR chains have flourished across.
Hmm.
But back then, when you really started, I think to even think that you will be really having that kind of response coming your way, and maybe you will be very soon going to multi cities. How difficult it was from the supply chain angle, and basically managing everything out there.
So because the first outlet which we opened, like, it's a company owned outlet, I used to spend a lot of time there. I used to interact with customers. I used to interact with my staff. So I used to be there 24 by 7. So I used to know each and everything what is happening in that particular store. So whatever challenges are there in that particular store, we rectified each and everything, and we launched our first franchise outlet. Even after doing a hell lot of R&D, but still we faced some little bit of headaches. As you know, like, their problems will never be the same.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll be getting different problems. So we used to get those problems, but my way of looking into problems in my life is like, if you are getting a problem, you shouldn't run away from it. So you will be having solution. So what best you can do is what I feel, and I will evaluate accordingly. And whenever problems comes, like, even my franchise owner used to have a lot of headaches during my journey, starting days of my journey. I used to ask him what would be the best solution if you are in my position. So he used to suggest something. If I answered that particular problem in that approach, he'll be happy, I'll be happy. So in that way, slowly and gradually, not immediately, but definitely, we took good enough time to rectify each and everything. It's more than, like, it was like, almost 6 months we took to rectify all those issues, and after 6 months, everything was streamlined.
Great, great. Which city was most challenging? I mean, when it came to operating.
So when coming to operating, Tamil Nadu is a little bit tricky, because there are a lot of people they can speak Telugu, but still they'll opt to speak Tamil. They'll not speak in English, so they want to speak in Tamil only. So, and when compared to other cities, like, they are like, friendly. You can talk in any language, you can communicate with them. But here, that's the only challenge we faced in Tamil Nadu. Rentals were high, negotiations are also very tough, because language is a big barrier there. They know that whatever we want to convey, but they'll act as if they don't know. They're not able to understand whatever we are saying. So that is what I noticed. But other than that, each and every city, and that was not with everyone in Tamil Nadu, but few of the people there. But still, we managed to open around 11 outlets in a year in Tamil Nadu. So that was little bit of tricky challenge those days. When coming to other cities, I never faced this particular headache.
I think one thing which in the years I have also seen, because it's like it always happens, especially that once you see, because see, from food from outside it looks very simple. As you were telling that people will find that, okay, you're just adding ice cream and some syrups out there, so what's so difficult there? I think a good sale is happening. But then once you really come into this industry, you realize that how many challenges are there to
True.
operate on daily basis. So I think, so your USP you've always managed is that you wanted to give value for money, especially.
Yes.
And then again, the base was very important, basically,
Yes.
which you had. I mean, in-house base of the ice cream which you had.
So usually in franchising model, there should be a dependency. If there is no dependency,
right.
so it is easy to copy, and a lot of people will bypass you and they start their own brand. So if there is a dependency, that cannot be happen. So franchisee models key is like, if there is a dependency, then only that particular brand can survive. If there is no dependency, those type of brands will not never be a successful brand, is what I feel.
So, Rahul, what was the maximum number of stores, and which year you were having that actually?
Our maximum number of stores is, we used to have 100 plus outlets in the year of 2019. So 18 and 19, 18 is a golden year for us. Like, we opened 50 outlets in 1 year. So 2018 is a golden year, and 19 was also good, because Swiggy, Zomato used to give a lot of Uber Eats. All these online platforms were like, booming those days. And with their competition, they used to give a lot of discounts to the customer, but they used to give us full amounts to the brand. So in that time, we used to make a lot of money. Like, a lot of delivery executives used to stand in line and uh, take our shakes and deliver to the customers. This was the story in 2019. But everything was going smooth, superb, excellent until 2019. And after 2019, 2020, it's a national, not national, it's a global disaster. Like, COVID came into picture. That until then, everything was smooth and everything was going really well.
And
Superb.
that time, how many cities you were operating in India?
In India, we were there in more than 15 cities.
15 cities.
Yeah.
Good. And what was the turnover that time?
At that time, we used to touch more than clubbing all stores together. It used to be more than around 55 to 60 crores.
60 crores.
Yeah.
Wow. When I say that, of course, as you were explaining that, every store you will not taste the success. There will be stores which will also struggle. But when it comes to the success, I mean, rate, generally, what is the, like, let's say for a particular store, what is the kind of a sale needed to be at break even?
For our model, like, if the investment is around 20 lakh,
Hmm.
let's assume 20 lakh. So if you are doing a sale of 4 to 5 lakh,
Hmm.
let's assume 5 lakh.
Hmm.
If the store sale is 5 lakh and the making cost is around 35 to 40%,
Hmm.
so you'll be left with 60%, from which you have to pay your rent, power bill, and salaries. These are your fixed expenses. Irrespective of sale, you have to pay this.
Hmm.
So if you assume a rent of 50,000
Hmm.
or 60,000 and the salaries of 40,000, 20,000 of power bill, and 30,000 of miscellaneous, and 40% of fixed expenses, 1.5 lakh. So 40% of making cost, that comes around 2 lakh if the sale is 5 lakh. 2 plus 1.5,
Hmm.
3.5, you'll be left with 1.5 lakh. In this case, this is a good side of story.
Ah.
Your break even will be in 1 year.
Hmm.
So bad side of story, if the sale is 3 lakh, the sale is 3 lakh, fixed expenses 1.5, your making cost is 40%. 40% of 3 lakh is 1.2, you'll make a profit of 30,000. Even though if you are being in profit also, your investment is 20 lakh. So
So
it
ROI
takes
will be
good
ROI.
ROI, like, usually franchise gives 5 years of term.
Yeah.
So within 5 years to take back their money itself will be a challenge,
Challenge. Yeah. If the sales are very low.
very low. So you
But
have to increase it.
but I think 4 5 lakh is, I think, I mean, pretty good to try, because I think that's something which you are
Yeah,
talking about
4.4 to 5 lakh is more than enough. You can easily achieve.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
if
it's
you're
just coming to around 15,000 a day is like, that's what actually is,
true, true.
and which is, I
And
think,
then
very
in
much
this particular
achievable.
model with all these products in line, definitely you can do it.
Yeah. Hmm.
And a brand like us, like, which has a very good reputation,
Hmm.
so definitely it is easily doable job. So
Hmm.
that's the reason we completely concentrated on this. You don't believe that, we do lot of R&D on our
Hmm.
products.
Hmm.
We have done R&D on waffles also. There is waffles in our menu.
Hmm.
So for waffles, we have done R&D for almost a year.
Hmm.
So usually there are a lot of premixes in market. You might be
Yeah.
asking, Arey, what are you doing, man? There are a lot of premixes in
Yeah.
market. Why did you
Yeah.
waste 1 year of your time?
Yeah.
So, but we should have our unique
Uniqueness.
USP,
Yeah.
so that to survive as a brand, not immediately, but definitely we have to be successful in the market.
Hmm.
So we have done good enough R&D. We came up with small sachets of waffles. Number of packets sold equal to number of waffles sold. So in a leakage, because in franchising model, leakage is a big challenge.
Right.
So with this particular thing, how many number of packets sold equal number of waffles sold. Each bulk we make 6.5 milkshakes. Number of bulks sold into 6.5, and is this number matching with the figure? This type of things which we need to look into. We
Hmm.
have our checkpoints. So that's the reason we as a brand is being strong in this particular. I mean, like, even though COVID came into picture, but still we
Yeah.
are, as a brand, we are strong enough
Yeah.
in
You came
market.
back very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good to try out, because of course today, in today's competitive world, I think any franchisee which is coming at this kind of a cost is really
Really tough. Yeah.
lovely, because it's at the minimum risk, as you were explaining, and then you yourself get involved into the interior, not burdening the franchisee with taking some interior.
Me with my team,
Yeah.
even I have a team who is into interiors,
Yeah.
so they're helping me out doing
Hmm.
this.
And how do you help on the day-to-day operations?
So whatever they want, like, day to day operations, like, they need supply.
Hmm.
So we have a supply chain team, so they'll be taking care of it. They'll raise indent, they'll be sending performa invoice. Though once the payment is done, they'll be doing the supplies. That is
Hmm.
one thing.
Hmm.
And coming to ice creams, also same thing we follow. Payments follow-ups will be done by other team, and we are having a team who look into exclusively online.
Hmm.
So online sales like Swiggy, Zomato sales will be taken care by exclusive team, and whatever queries the franchise owners have, and they'll be keep on looking into reviews of each and every store. If there is a negative review, they'll talk to the franchise owner, they'll talk to the staff, and they'll get rectified then and there. So I'm not saying that there's no complaints. There are complaints, but still we'll make sure that it should be as minimal as possible. If possible, there shouldn't be a complaint. We are trying to work in that particular approach. And supplies is over, online is over, and if they have any other headache also, they'll directly call me. I'll tell them to talk to them. If it is not getting rectified, they can directly talk to me, and we'll make sure that it gets rectified. And we have our area managers who will be visiting to the stores every weekly once at least. So we'll be getting that area manager will be from us, like from our company.
Right.
So we'll be knowing whatever is happening in the store. They'll be spending around 2 to 3 hours in each store. They'll be looking into minute things and they'll be reporting to us. We'll make sure that even those particular issues get rectified. And next check is I'll be sending mystery customers. So if my manager goes there, like staff knows that he's a manager for the company, so they'll act like smart, and they'll be
They can manage
pretend that everything is going
yeah,
smooth.
yeah.
So if I send a mystery customer, I'll get to know what is happening exactly there.
Right.
So I'll be sending mystery customers every now and then, at least monthly once. So I'll be getting a minute detail about that particular store. This small tricks which we play.
You generally
There are a lot of things which we do, but these are primary things which we do.
And now when you say that now you are shifting to a kind of a cafe model. So at the R&D stage, of course, you are developing new products also, apart from the milkshake, which was your original products. What all now you are doing in house? I mean,
we are manufacturing ice creams, we are manufacturing our brownies, we are manufacturing our waffle premix, and you don't believe during last year, cocoa powder prices are increasing day by day. Like it is really tough those days. So so we cannot change the costing of milkshakes every now and then, right?
Correct.
So then we thought, why shouldn't we try our own cocoa powder? We tried developing it, and by God's grace, we cracked it, and we are doing it. We are doing multiple R&D on different products, and as of now we are manufacturing these particular products.
Okay, one question which is very personal I want to ask you is that how about Rahul? I mean, generally you love ice creams and milkshakes.
Yeah, I do love. Who will not like milkshakes or ice creams? Because before going to London.
Okay,
Before going to London, I used to have milkshakes daily in McDonald's. So I used to have it regularly.
So you're very fond of milkshakes.
Yeah, at that time I used to think only these are the two milkshakes that there. Once after going to London, I came to know it's a big market.
Big market.
So we can do a lot of things around it. So
and what's the, I mean, what is your best flavor you like to have?
I like coffee brownie.
Coffee brownie.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I have to come to Makers of Milkshake, which milkshake you would recommend?
Whatever flavor you like, because our USP is like you can taste that flavor in every sip of our milkshake. That is our USP. So whatever, if you like the flavor, let's say if you like Oreo, we add Oreo and make milkshake. So you can feel that Oreo's flavor in every sip of your milkshake. So if you are ordering Oreo, you like Oreo, that's the reason you're ordering. So as you are getting that particular taste in every sip of your milkshake, you'll definitely love our milkshakes. That is the formula which we follow.
Yeah. And now another problem which I think the industry faces, and because especially when you are managing a 100 outlet chain, the staff attrition is is a very big challenge in the industry. So how do you deal with that?
It is still happening. I cannot say that it is not there in our company. It is still there, but we have key players, key staff who are working with me since long time, since many years. You don't believe there are people who are working with me since day one. So this particular main core team is there with me since long time. In this core team also, one or two people will be moving to other companies, but still staff plays a major role, especially the managerial staff. So I have by God's grace, I have a good team who are working with me since many years. So that is helping me out.
So do you think like it's also important for any company which start with a franchise model also to kind of have some sort of a kind of a crash course for the person who's also taking a franchisee, to also educate him that how to deal with different situations, and maybe to also give a kind of a know-how, especially on the model, that at times when there is this kind of a challenge, then he can operate with someone out there.
If he's well versed with all these things, he'll open his own brand. Why will he come to us? So in this model, it shouldn't be a headache for them. They are investing their money, so all these headaches shouldn't be faced by that particular person. So it should be taken care by us. So it's like there is some person who's on background, and they are supportive to us. If any headache comes, they are there for us. This is what the trust we have to give them. So that is how the brand should work.
Yeah.
So
Because
that is what I believe in.
yeah, because go here and there in the city, and you'll come across some particular outlet out there, and then when the sometime you're able to meet the owner, and he share the pain since the time he invested, and then he feels that yeah, the company, when we were trying to have this outlet where they were a very
They're always available.
always available
Uh,
kind of they were, now they are very different,
Different.
they
That is
don't
how, that is what
care,
is happening with all
they
those
don't
companies.
care, and we are struggling badly, we have invested, how what's the solution now? So this is, I think, a kind of a scenario you face almost when you go out with at many places, in
Mm-hmm.
fact. So in that case, I think what you shared initially is the fact that giving the time, especially by the owner initially, is very important, because
True.
he should also be aware, that what are the challenges out there, and
Yes.
initially to have at least a mindset that
Yeah.
he may face this issue
Mm.
sometime or other.
Mm.
So Rahul, now coming to a journey of a decade,
Mm.
you have seen it all. Started, came back, started a brand. It became a massive hit. I think the revolution which you started, many it started at different cities. Many companies started, serving milkshakes, and then you reached a peak. COVID came, a big setback. Now you are, of course, trying to redesign the model. So how it has been as a journey, and what were the the high point? I mean, if you like to share some of the highs and lows.
Highs means definitely when you open multiple outlets, everything is going smooth,
Hmm.
full happiness, success, success, success.
Hmm.
So whatever you touch, it's like a gold.
Hmm.
So
And you must be getting, I think, lot of awards and other things
yeah, I
around.
used to get a lot of awards those days. Even now, I'm getting good number of awards. I got this Yuvakalam award.
Okay.
So that is one of the award which I was like, felt very happy when I got that particular award. And
Okay.
there are a good number of awards I got from different organizations. So in fact, we got award from Hypebeast TV a month ago.
Right.
So in my life, I what I see is like before starting Makers of Milkshakes, I thought of going to US for doing my masters and then come back to India and start a business on my own.
Hmm.
So, but my US visa got rejected thrice
Hmm.
as a student. So then I applied for London.
Hmm.
I've done my MBA there. I've
Hmm.
seen a product like this. I came back here, started Makers of Milkshakes. By God's grace, it took off very well.
Hmm.
So when you look back, 3 times of US visa rejections is like a big failure for me at that particular age, around 20, 21.
Right.
So, but still, God has given me success after that. In life, everything happens for a reason,
Correct.
is what I truly believe in.
Hmm.
Always never expect a positive results.
Ah.
Sometimes negative results also might be coming in your way, but definitely something big is waiting for you.
Hmm.
Something good is waiting for you. So COVID is one particular headache which also came. So my business was on peaks before COVID. During COVID, little bit of dip, but still I'm pretty much sure it will come back. It should come back, and it will come back. So because whatever you give, it will come back is what I feel. I give good to the society, so I'll get good is what I feel. Karma. So I believe in karma. COVID time it was completely down, and after that it is slowly picking up. Last year we have done a very good number of revenues, and this year also it is touching good number, and we are coming up with new concepts. So everything is getting normal. So I'm expecting for a bigger game to play. So as that particular turbulence has come, so something big is waiting for me, something good is waiting for me is
Yeah,
what I
that's so
feel.
wonderful to hear.
And one more thing, what I have seen in society is like a lot of youngsters are feeling that, Arey, why only with me? If any problems comes to them, why only me? Why only with me?
Hmm.
So you shouldn't think in that perspective. Everyone will be successful in their life, but not immediately. Definitely, it takes time.
Hmm.
So someone who is more successful at this particular time, if you think bad about it, like you're not successful, but in future you might be more successful than them.
Then, yeah.
So it is like cycle. So you have to be with a positive attitude, keep on working hard, never give up, focus, evaluate and then execute. Don't execute and then evaluate.
Hmm.
Evaluate and then execute. So what are the hurdles going to come if someone want to take an entrepreneur journey? So they have to evaluate things. What are the hurdles? If they can rectify that, what are the strengths they have? What are the weaknesses they have? So they have to overcome those weaknesses and convert them into strengths. And then what are the practical reality? Because on paper everything seems to be normal, but on ground it is really tough. So you'll be getting different types of problems on ground, as you have been you'll be knowing better than me about this particular thing, because you have good experience in this particular field. So they have to that is what I say to youngsters, like, they have to evaluate and then only execute.
Yeah.
Never give up, be strong, keep motivated.
But I think the best part I see, especially now, I mean, in your journey and now what you shared, is that, if as a founder you are flexible also, to somewhere take that call that boss, now time has come that, let me also tweak my model. I think that can, I think, maybe help many brands, to come back, because if they are, flexible enough to see that and take that as it is and accept it that no, my model was good, it really worked well for me, but now it's time, to take that call where I have to tweak it, I have to, again redesign it. And I think that's flexibility is something which amazing. I think that's something which I will take back from today's show, because we all know that there are a lot of failures in this industry, and
True.
almost more than 80% of the outlet closed down. And one of the reason is that at times you're not able to take that call, that if it is not really working that well now with the time, you have to do some changes. So that's something, a very positive approach. But again, as you said, that before you start, you need a lot of R&D, to be out there. It's just not that, you just simply put a menu across and start serving, because that's going to be a disaster.
True.
And that's also some mistake which people do. I mean, does they commit this kind of mistake also? Looking at something which is selling well, they just try to, have that same thing in the menu, just the very next day, not realizing that what all goes at the back end, to really have the preparation for that particular thing. But now coming to this, have you also faced a challenge, like anytime when your franchisee started serving some sort of things in their menu without even
It will never happen, because we'll be having our random checks. So they'll not take that particular risk, because if they are doing something like that, we'll terminate the agreement.
But then let's say when they come back and say, boss, see, this model is not working out for me, I've invested, I have to recover the money. Then
No. That is not the case, because we, as I said, we will evaluate before executing things. So before telling them all these things, so we do our homework. So, and we'll make sure that it will work.
But now, let's say, assuming that, Rahul, what advice you would like to give, like when it comes to, let's say, there are a lot of many other, company which are operating on the franchise model. At times, this situation does arise, because when the franchise take a call on his own, that he starts serving, something when he's not getting, that kind of a support.
That is the biggest challenge in this industry. It's not easy to maintain franchisee, handle franchises. So that is how people, especially the minimal margin models, like minimal investment models, they are investing good money, so they will not take risk, because if they are taking risk, the company will terminate that particular agreement, so that all the money whatever they are invested on that particular brand will go. So they will not take that particular risk. When coming to the smaller investments, so if they change the name also, what are we losing? Take it easy. Hardly we are losing a little bit amount. So let's take a chance, is what people will think. That is a trick which you have to play around. So you have to be cautious in giving franchises, and you have to make sure that they will be successful. If they are successful, they'll not go for some other alternatives. For example, I'll say we'll be serving a bulk of ice cream. So my bulk of ice cream should be almost equal to the price which is available in the market of other brands, or else what will happen, they'll try to bypass us and procure raw material from others. So whatever you are supplying, it should be on par with the market value.
It should be justified.
Justified, so that he'll not bypass, right? So, or else what they will think, are yeah, this guy, for example, if I'm giving bulk for 300 and the bulk which is available in market for 250, they'll try to opt it. I'm saving 50 rupees on each bulk. Even though taste wise it is varying, but still I'll opt that. So this is what they'll think. If I'm giving for 250 and the market value is 300 per bulk, they'll not try to bypass us. So that is how you have
Agree.
to play.
So you also have to keep a check on the price basically. You should
True.
not overcharge basically in any of the ingredients, because
Yes.
ultimately they have to also survive. They have to
Yes.
make profit to give salaries and rents and all.
True.
So as a founder, if you are aware of that, you want to support that system where
Yeah.
the franchisees are happy, then as a company you are going to be happy.
True.
So that's I think. So where do I mean now? What's the plan for next 5 years? Where we see
Next five
makers?
year, Makers of Milkshakes will grow as a cafe to different countries and almost each and every corner of India. Uh, and create employment to multiple people and create entrepreneurial opportunity to multiple people. So, and we'll come up with the multiple, two more brands, as I said, with a low budget model and a high budget model. So we are going to come up with these particular brands. So in future, it's going to be a pioneer brand of India. Definitely, it's going to be a good brand from India.
Great, great. That's
As the
nice.
name itself has, as we name it as Makers of Milkshakes, it's shortly called as Mom.
Mom, yeah.
Mom. It has a lot of positivity in it. So
Right.
definitely, it's going to be a good brand as well.
Lovely. I think somewhere you have played an important role in making milkshakes so popular
Thank you.
across the country.
Thank you.
And I think today it's not anymore a beverage which was just being seen as a beverage to have it on special occasions. I think people today it's like any other cold beverage. They love to have milkshake at any occasion at any given time. And uh, so it was so lovely, Rahul, to talk to you today.
Same here, Nakulji.
And I think a lot of positive things our viewers are going to get back from this conversation, especially the mindset which as a founder you had. You have seen all the ups and downs, starting from the scratch, building something which as a very completely a new concept, which was not at all there in India, especially starting a complete brand uh, around a beverage which was even not that popular at that time, and from there picking up, becoming a massive success across India, and then ultimately fighting the very hard times of pandemic, coming back, having that flexibility to again remodel it. So thank you so much for joining us today, and
Thank you, Nakulji,
I
for
just wish
inviting
you
me.
all the best and for the coming years, and looking forward to once again host you sometime in future.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you. It was a lovely conversation.
Same here.
Thank you. Thank you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.